It is no secret that the holidays, it can be extra stressful. And for some, that stress can lead to depression. KVUE's Bob Buckley recently spoke with an Austin psychologist about the mental and emotional challenges that often come in December.
There's no getting around it. Holiday shopping, family gatherings, travel, and stress pretty much go hand in hand. So how do we deal with the built-in tension that comes from trying to meet those December holiday expectations? Dr. Lavina Bader is a clinical child psychologist with Texas Children's Hospital in Austin. I sat down with her recently to talk about how best to deal with stress and depression that often accompany the holidays.
I think the holidays can be really joyous and a lot of fun, and it is really stressful because there's a lot of change in our routine, a lot of change in the people that we're seeing, the activities that we're doing, and that change can be really exciting, but it can also be really hard and really stressful. Also, we're seeing our parents in a different way there too, is they're doing a lot of different things for the holidays, they're doing a lot on their side of things, and so children tend to see that also and just have to have a different reaction to the change in parents' behavior, the change in environments, so it can be a lot of stress. Honestly, the idea is that stress is a reaction for all of us. We will all get sad at some points in our life, part of being human. When sadness persists or sadness goes on for a long time and it starts getting in the way of our life or our day-to-day functioning, that's when we start to look more depression. Major depression, there is dysthymia where it's going on for a long time, and that's going to also be different than those that might be grieving during this time as well, in that grief is a different type of sadness and depression, often related to the loss and the bereavement of someone loved. And so there's so many different facets of that one question.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And you know, there's a lot of nostalgia around holidays. And I think too, there's a link between nostalgia and sadness. That can happen.
Absolutely. Sadness is oftentimes brought on by the things that we may not have anymore. A lot of times it's about the things in the past that we don't have in the present, and the holidays tend to be a big reminder for some of those instances, especially those that we have lost.
How do we de-stress our kids?
I think the question I would ask more is, what do we do with the stress? Because I think that the stress is going to be there, and trying to say that we're trying to get rid of all stress isn't realistic. And so I think the question is, how do we get through it? How do we develop resiliency? How do we develop grit through that? And part of it is talking about it, labeling it, becoming aware of what's going on, and then developing known coping skills, known reactions, instead of saying, I think I just got through it because I did it. Let's talk about how we can do diaphragmatic breathing or calming our stress response. How do we have parents who can model some of those things? For our littles, they're not doing it on their own. They're just going to say, I got through it and I went back to doing other things. But as parents and adults, something that they can do also is labeling it in themselves, modeling how they're coping, and showing their kids versus trying to tell their kids how to do it themselves in front of their kids.
It's important for parents to tune in to their kids. And again, stress and distractions of the holiday time, we may not pay as much attention about our children. That's a kind of a challenge.
It's a balancing act. There's a lot of things on that plate, including not just actual food, but a lot of planning and responsibilities, and there's so much logistics that tend to come with holidays, especially in the adult role, that not only are we not always tuning into the kids are watching. They see all of it, and kids often see the change in their parents, and they might change their reaction to help their parents out too. So not only are we not tuning in, we might be changing what the kids see in the adults themselves.